to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. Try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby, I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. What's wrong and why you never said you felt that way? Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby, I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too.
What is up, guys? It is your boy Young Cub, and I'm so excited to reveal to you that the time has come, and we are finally having the premier draft for the Smite Draft League Season 1. I'm Young Cub. Joining me today is Nathan Apollo. Nathan, why don't you say hi?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Young Cub. And hello, Smite fans. You know what? Finally, here is exactly right. It seems like this has taken forever, but I am so excited to get this draft going. This is the premier captains drafting their premier teams, so this should be the best of the best.
Yeah, seriously, and I think the best of the best is accurately stated there. We have probably the highest level of competition we've seen, at least you and I,
Yeah, it's
in
insane.
our whole. Yeah, I mean, yeah, from like all of our competitive experience, I think these are the strongest captains we've had yet, and I think the strongest free agents so far that we've had yet. So I'm really excited to see, who these picks are going to be, who's going to come up on top. But I guess we have to just kind of get right into it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. We've got a lot of picks because this is 5-man teams. Well, 6-man teams when you add the captain, right? So we're going to be doing 5 picks for each one, and there's 8 teams. So we got a lot of players to get through. Let's get going.
Right. Yeah. So just the format here. Just going over some formatting things. Yeah. Each team will have 2 minutes to decide their pick. If the 2 minutes expires, then they have to make their pick at the end of the draft. So it kind of puts some pressures on the captains. Like you said, each team has to draft 5 people here. And without further ado, yeah, let's get into this. So first off, who won the draft? And it is a snake draft after all. It's going to go 1 through 8, then 8 through 1, and so on and so forth. Uller One Trick. What's your draft going to be? What's your pick going to be, sir? We're waiting on him to lock it in here.
Yeah, so it's going to be real interesting to see what he picks because it really comes down to what do you prioritize when you've got everything to pick from. You gotta decide, well, what's the most important thing, and it's going to be interesting to see where it lands out.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Like you have first pick, and you're like, oh great, like I get to get the best of the best. But with so many good players on the table, and Uller One Trick is a jungle main. I know he can flex pick and everything. You're just thinking like, okay, who's gonna help me win this league? I have a lot of pressure here because there's so many open players. I guess sometimes having lots of options can kind of be a down pick, but it looks like he locked in his pick here. So without further ado, let's see what we got here. It looks like he's gonna pick Montez. A great pick here. Yeah. Do you know anything about Montez yourself there?
This is a new name to me, but so many of these premier players are because I just don't hang in that league. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what can you tell us about Montez?
Yeah, so I know Montez. He's a jungle main. I know he's got some experience in a few different leagues. At least he said so. I know that he had some really great showings through some of our scouting ground sets, and I think that I know that he had an Awelix game where he went like 12-4 or something crazy like that. And very next game against really good players like Miggy was in these games, Swiftfish was in these games, Emoji was in these games. He also went 9-3 on the following game in the jungle role. So definitely a name I was kind of looking out for. He's just a really solid player overall, and I really think that's a good first pick. And that kind of shows like Uller One Trick, despite being a jungle main, he's willing to kind of step out of his comfort zone, which I think is a good sign of a captain, right? Like he's giving up his role probably. I'm just making assumptions here, just so he can have the strongest team possible. So good pick there, Uller One Trick.
Very
So
cool.
moving on.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on. Who
let's do it.
is second in our draft order?
Right, so we got Sandman Samuel here, aka the Pepsi Nitro, the smoothest cola yet, apparently. Yeah, and so he's our newest captain, right? We had Storm, he dropped out of the league. I heard there was a little bit of mischief going on. Storm may have been part of another league and kind of scouting how we do things around here. So I'm very flattered, Storm, and whoever that league is. Thanks for copying the way we do things.
Who was that
being
mysterious
interested.
man?
Exactly. So yeah, and so Storm, yeah, he picked his team name. I guess we kind of skipped over Uller One Trick's team name, and that was Uller One Trick is going to be the Kingslayers with Set as his mascot. The way we do things around here is each team has a team theme name pertaining to a god. And so for Set, we have the Kingslayers. And for the Wrath of Terra here, I know Pepsi Nitro, Sylvanas is one of his favorite gods. So he chose Wrath of Terra being his team name. And so time to see his pick here. Let's see if he's locked this in yet. And it looks like he has locked in Zots. This is another one that has been
Darth
really,
Hot
really
Dog.
good. Darth Hot Dog, that's right. Yeah, I mean, he's had some stellar showings. I know he's a really strong pick. Now, I asked Pepsi Nitro before the draft. I was like, who do you think he might pick? And he threw some meme names out there. I don't know them all. And another thing about Zots is his performances in Scouting Grounds were pretty varied. He played a jungle set that he didn't do anything just crazy, but then he played out of the solo lane. He played Hades, kept up with some of the best solo laners, and then he played a Robin solo game, and then an Ao Kuang solo game where he went 7-0 and 8. And I don't know. I think that just having that jungle to solo flexibility is just really good. I am maybe biased in that I'm a jungler and I feel like I can play solo lane with the best of them, just mechanics wise. I know how to play the engagements and everything, and so I think Zots is a really, really great pick here.
Yeah, definitely a good player. A lot of flexibility, can go into many roles. Has hit the GM level, so that's something to look out for. Coming out strong with Pepsi Nitro.
Absolutely. So getting into this next pick, we have Hemo. Now,
Hemo.
fun fact about Hemo here, he decided that it would be a strategic benefit to him to miss the draft despite signing up, despite saying he'd be here. And so I
Bold
guess
play.
I mean, bold play. So maybe he's doing some dramatic effect and he's going to see, really let this 2-minute timer run out and maybe show up in the last 10 seconds and make a pick. But I really doubt it. He's not here with us right now. So it looks like he's going to forfeit his pick to the end of the draft. Maybe elite strat because he gets more time to think about crafting the perfect team with the remaining free agents after this draft. So Hemo, sorry to see it. We're moving on.
I'm gonna say we probably got to give him the full time, at least to show up for this first one. Minute 20 seconds, Hemo. If you're out there, if you're listening, you pop in here, and in the meantime, we can say that we got this nice little graphic which shows who's up next, and it's Sparky. And I just wanted to say shout outs to production for putting together this just amazing looking graphics to let us know what's going on.
Definitely huge shout out to Nublet. He is the man on the cams, the man making all the OBS things and all of that. And so I guess another thing here is Hemo. He really likes the god on her. He chose Sons of Desert as his team name. I don't know. I think the merch for that Sons of Desert, on her shirt, I'd wear the heck out of that any day of the week. I think that sort of merch would be pretty cool, but maybe that's just me. We got 30 seconds left for Hemo picking, and then we have Sparky, who I'm trying to remember his team name. It was who did he choose? He chose Divinity. He likes Oleron. Yeah, and so Oleron-based team in Divinity, and that's another one that I think just the team colors would probably be really, really cool for a team like that. I mean, Oleron, like a swaggy god, right? Like he's one of the cooler ones. Yeah. So 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Count it down. Drum roll, please.
Please. And so moving on. Left hanging.
All right, Sparky, you're up. Let's get that. Oh. And Sparky didn't waste much time, did he?
Sparky did not. Who is he picking there? I maybe missed it. Did you see who he picked there?
I did. I'm gonna.
Let's see here.
Production 1 second to bring it up.
Yes.
We're not
so
spoiling
I see that it looks like he picked Lush Blood for his pick. Lush Blood, I know Sparky has a lot of competitive experience actually, and along with them, there's players like I think Lone Wolf and TV Boo and people like that, and just in their ranks, he's also got Lush Blood, who I think had some solid performances out of the jungle. I know Sparky is an ADC main and does it really, really well, and so maybe just having someone that he's familiar with in the jungle to relieve some pressure when he's not doing so well. That might be a good strategy for him there. I know Lush Blood himself, he played Nija and Ravana in Scouting Grounds. and I think he actually made it to GM at some point in time. Let me just verify that stat. Yeah, so he's a GM jungler. He really favors Lancelot, Nemesis, those types of gods. And yeah, a really solid pick. And yeah, we love when we have some built-in synergy, kind of off the bat there. So moving on to the next pick, unless you have anything else to say, of course.
No, I think that you covered it well. They're clearly favoring the jungler mains at the moment. We're seeing some of that, and so I think that we're off to a competitive start. We're seeing how these team drafts are going.
Absolutely. But speaking of jungler mains, we have one of those as a captain here, so it's going to be interesting to see who he picks. Iba. Iba with the team Eclipse, the Tsukiyomi squad. Really going to be interested to see who he picked there. I know, right? Eclipse is cool. Team colors, blue, purple, or something like that. I think that'll be super clean. Let's see who he's going to lock in here. It looks like he's going to pick the one and only multiple name Bandit. It was kind of hard to track him down. To Zane, as he was formerly known, but now he goes by a different name. I know he swapped back and forth a few times.
This is the GM mid ADC of infamous qualities.
Correct. And that is going to be Spooks. Just a really, really solid player. He had some really great showings in the ADC role, actually. Like we said, I think he plays a couple different roles, but I know he played ADC in Scouting Grounds. He played Uller. He went like something like 5-1, 5-1 and 12.
Signature
I'm not
Uller.
even guessing. Yeah. So just able to flex a good Uller. I think that's a real sign of, hey, I know how to play this game. I know the mechanics. I'm really good on it. There might be some familiarity between the two. I know Spooks has done a few leagues. Actually has quite a bit of competitive experience. And then I think Spooks brought out a Poseidon ADC at some point. So I know Iba likes some of these more setup type junglers at times, some with just at least a hard stun or knock up, and setting that up for an ADC like Poseidon, pretty spooky combo there. So Iba, thank you for your pick.
No pun intended, I'm sure.
Right. So moving on, who we got here?
We got Midman.
My boy and my jungler from last season. I'm really excited to see how he does in this league. I want him to make me proud. I want him to carry on the throne of winning these things. And so, Midman, who will your first pick be? I think I already have an idea, but maybe not. We'll see.
And I just want to say, as a side, also generally nice guy. Midman, real friendly, easy to get along with. So there's that going for him.
That's right. Until you're on his bad side, I guess. Then he's gonna farm you with the Horus jungle, and you're gonna feel silly and feel like, hey, why haven't I been playing Horus this whole time?
But we've got it. The man is C-Host.
C-Host, and C-Host is a crazy player. Let me tell you, he's in the mid lane, so it makes sense. Midman's a jungler. I think 6 out of the 8 captains in Premier are actually junglers. Fun fact. And so yeah, it makes sense he wants to pick a mid laner, have a strong, showing out of mid lane. I know C-Host has a lot of experience, and I think he's even SOC, maybe SCC combine player or something like that. So really a high level player, plays a lot of gods in the mid lane, and that includes Jormungandr even. And so he's just a solid player, always does well, and I'm interested to see how they do. And so I know Midman was having a hard time choosing mid laner. He has some familiarity with Soulless Whisper from last season and things like that, or I guess the last season of a different league. But C-Host just had some crazy showings. He went 9-0 with Tiamat, and then he followed it up with a crazy, it doesn't sound crazy, a 2-9 Discordia game, but the way he played the Discordia, the roots were on point, everything he did all was on point, and he was making sure that his damage dealers were just staying ahead with that disco passive. So just a good pick overall, and I think they have some familiarity, and they play ranked together, so there's already some chemistry there.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Well, you gotta love it. This draft is really shaping up.
Absolutely, yeah. I think already these teams are looking spooky. I know I would personally 1v2 these squads right now, but maybe a couple more roster picks on their squads, and they might be able to beat me. Raid Boss Cub, you know. And so moving on to the next pick here, it looks like we have the Zombie Crusher himself, a newcomer. I know he's a little bit silent in the chat sometimes, pretty quiet guy overall, I think, but nonetheless, a really solid player. I think one of the few controller players actually, so he's coming out to play, hopefully representing.
Represent.
Absolutely, and so let's see who his first pick is going to be. Zombie Crusher. Giving him a minute here, and interesting. The pick is in, and this is another one that I was expecting to see. So, without further ado, it looks like he is going to be picking Control Alt I Eat. Yes, I mean,
Crit Alt Eat, right?
Crit Alt Eat. I think it's Control Alt I Eat, but typos happen sometimes, and we're not going to hold that over Noob's head. I mean, I might in the DMs, and if y'all want to roast him in chat, feel free to roast him in chat.
That could actually just be Zombie Crushers typing it in that way. Being honest.
Honestly, yeah. Let's blame Zombie Crusher. I'm 100% down to blame Zombie Crusher. Now that I see him locking it in, yeah, that's 100% his fault. So everyone make fun of Zombie Crusher. Everyone point and laugh. It's fine. So I know Control Alt I Eat is an ADC main. He's had some crazy showings. He had some really good ADCs like Tomcat. Like Tomcat, I think was like one of my favorite ADCs coming into this league. I saw him play a couple games and know he did really well. Control Alt I Eat really did his name justice. He ate up that whole lobby. He had a crazy Charybdis game that went like 7-0 and 9, and then a Cupid game. He had 10 kills, 2 deaths. Just a phenomenal player, and I think this was a ADC that a lot of captains were hoping to get. I know that I heard some chatter amongst the captains in the league, and I think this is a really good pick for Zombie Crusher. Well done. All right, moving on. It appears that we have the one and only Butt Lover, who's going to have a name change here. He's a SEC or SOC contender, and Hi-Rez don't like that name, but we're going to call him Butt Lover for now. We're not quite as strict and a little bit more fun. So, Butt Lover, who will your pick
We see the appeal, to be perfectly honest. I like him too. I like him too, buddy.
You can't fault the man for the things that he likes. He's a man first, and it looks like he has locked in his pick, and it is going to be a menace of a support. Really just a crazy player overall. I think he played a Jing Chen game or something like that. Did all the supporting things you could ever ask for. But where this peer pressure guy, he kind of follows my style of supporting. He had a Mulan game. He built Mana Core, built Glad Shield, all those things. And I think he had like a 12-0 support game or something like that. Like very much carried that game from the support role. It was like, why are we seeing supports at this level have stat lines like this and get away with this? But yeah, he just a really solid player, and I'm excited to see a player as strong as Butt Lover, who I asked him before this stream. He's ranked 30 overall on the leaderboards, on the ranked leaderboards for Conquest right now, and I know that he's been ranked 1 a couple of times before. So a really good player, getting a really good backline already in peer pressure, which I don't know what else peer pressure can do, but I'm sure he can do a lot. He's just seems to be a really good mechanical player. And with Butt Lover being the last pick, he actually gets to pick twice in a row, which is a really strong position when there's so many strong players on the board. You can kind of craft your team to be a little bit, just a little bit more synergy, that sort of thing, as you're going.
Yeah, there's definitely advantages, I think, to being the spot in the draft, and we're gonna see if he takes advantage of it as the timer ticks over again as he gets to pick his second pick.
Absolutely. So Butt Lover, lock it in, sir. Let's see what you got to offer here. And it looks like he's typing, he's doing the things. He's typing and doing the things, and I think he's gonna do the same thing that Midman did. And Butt Lover's a jungle main. He wants to pick up a mid, and he is going to pick up Emoji Daddy himself. Emoji Daddy had some really good showings. He played Yu Huang and ESET. A deathless game on Yu Huang. I mean, it's easy to do. I'm not even impressed by that. It's Yu Huang. He's a broken god. Still though, 6 kills, 10 assists, and then swapped over to ESET, which a little bit harder to not die on. And he had 7 kills, 2 deaths, 6 assists. Just a really good player here. I'm excited to see what those two do together. And I don't know, Butt Lover's team. They're already looking pretty strong here. And Butt Lover being a Pele one trick, his team name is Wild Inferno. I love it. I think that's cool. Yeah, so really, really excited to see what these pairing or these trios, what they can do in this league. So moving right on.
That's right, man. We are flying through these, and
I love
gotta
it.
love it. So this, we've gone around the horn. Now we're coming back through.
Absolutely.
For those that don't understand the snake draft, I guess I'm just saying it in words.
Just say it in words. Explain it all. But we're going back to like I said, we're going 1 through 8, and then 8 through 1, and we're just gonna keep on going like that. So stay tuned with us, and we are moving on to, who is it? Zombie Crusher, isn't it? Zombie Crusher is gonna lock in his pick soon. He's thinking. He wants to think about this, and he knows who he's gonna pick. And it's a familiar face. I think to anyone that plays ranked, anyone that plays comp, I think this guy is in many leagues in general. And yeah, he's just a very good mid laner. And I'm not exactly sure where that's going to put Zombie Crusher or what role he intends on playing. Maybe support situation since he's on controller with these crazy players. But Chubby Ostrich is going to join the party of Guns and Saki, the Danza
That's a
Burrow
name
team.
I know.
Yeah, Chubby, vast god pool. I've seen him play just the craziest stuff in mid and get away with it consistently. Dude is just good, and he has fun while doing it. He's kind of a meme guy, just fun to be around, a funny guy, and yeah, I think this is a really good pick. And just my few conversations with Zombie Crusher, I think they'll get along well, and I think this is already panning out to be another strong team in the Premier Division. So thank you for that, Zombie Crusher. And we have up next a team. We have my boy, no bias though, but a little bit, but not much. We have Midman. Hit us with your second pick of this draft overall, please.
If you got some wisdom, share it with us now.
Absolutely. And it looks like he's typing. He's doing the things, and he has locked it in, and it is going to be the one and only Didacted. Didacted is a crazy player, and I'm kind of surprised he even lasted this long. As crazy as to say, we're 10 picks in now, 11 picks in now. Didacted has some crazy showings. I know he played a King Arthur game. I can't remember the stat line, but the dude has been farming people in the solo lane, and at that, he's farming like really good solo mains in the solo lane. So I think this is a really good pick. I don't know. Minman draft looking good here. Just between having an elite mid laner and an elite solo laner to help him dive with. I don't know if he picks up a good tank next or something like that. I think that's going to be, a backline that can get so much damage off, and then just the dive between Didacted and Minman out of the jungle and solo role. I think that's going to be just crazy on any backline that wants to live it. So definitely these upcoming captains might need to start looking at some support players or something like that to survive a team as strong as Life of the After Party, which is the Baron Samedi team. And not that I came up with the name or anything, but one of my favorite team names here.
I think that you and I often agree on team names when it comes to these sort of fun, ridiculous team names, and that one hits me in a special spot as well. Just Baron got really great vibes.
He does, yeah. I don't know. Just I keep going back to the merch that we're going to be, implementing and things, and we'll have overall SDL merch, as we know, and some community events where you can win it and also purchase it. But I don't know, a Baron themed shirt, Life for the After Party shirt. I think that would go pretty hard. I mean, I don't know. I just got crazy drip though, so maybe that's just me. But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Everyone says it, even his mom.
Even my mom. She knows I have the best drip. The best drip. So moving on, we have our next captain here needing to pick, and it's back over to Eclipse with Iba. Iba, hit me with it. Who you gonna pick? Stop thinking. You don't need that much time, do you?
Man, he came in with a strategy. You think that that's not Iba? He knows what he wants. He knows what he's doing.
For a player that pretends to be as dumb as he is, like, he really does strategize quite a lot. It's kind of impressive,
He's basically Heath Ledger's the Joker, He pretends
Right.
to be crazy, but clearly there was a plan all along.
All along, yeah. And he's very much a joker. One of the memeier players. I know lots of people don't like him,
I
which
don't know. I
is
find him serious all the time. It's just
it's fair.
always serious.
Right. Yeah, it's he's a good time. Don't let him get under your skin, other captains, because he will get in your head and play the mind games, just like he is with me. He keeps typing and then deleting and typing and deleting, so I might
Hmm.
never. Oh,
Yeah.
another familiar
Oh,
face.
this is one that I actually was wondering how this hasn't come up before now.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm gonna say good pick. Um, as we're getting it up on the board, NMR.
Absolutely, yeah. NMR is just a good all-around player. A jungle main, I believe. So is Iba. But the other thing about NMR is he makes these crazy montages, right? Like check out his YouTube. But yeah, he just makes these crazy montages, and he can play ADC. I've seen him just have crazy hype plays out of the ADC lane. Of course, he played well in his scouting grounds matches and everything like that. But yeah, NMR, I'm on the same page as you. He's a top ranked player. He plays tons of it. Yeah, he's just a good player overall, and yeah, happy to see him go. Yeah, I think this parade will be interesting. I wonder what Iba's strategy master plan is between Spooks, NMR, and himself. That's just an interesting pairing already. So moving
Yeah.
on over to Sparky, hit us
Yeah,
with it.
Sparky, you're up. Let's hear it. And I think that just speaks to the overall competition, like how many good players there are in this pool that we can be so deep in and have players like this still popping up.
That's kind of the thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, you isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that's the thing is that there's two kind of trains of thought, right? Number one is I pick the strongest person I can, and I'm just gonna have them fill for a role. Or option B is I'm gonna try to pick the strongest person in each role, and we're gonna see how we synergize. So it looks like Iba's just trying to pick the strongest people he sees on a sheet of paper, which is viable. Like I have no doubt NMR could support his brains out if he had to, or if you're gonna force him to. So yeah, I kind of like that. And moving on over to Sparky, sir, you got 1 minute left on your pick. What's it gonna be? And he picks the sweetheart, the
Oh,
community sweetheart.
yeah.
Uh, Never
The,
has once been
the heart and
BM.
soul of the Discord chat in general.
Exactly. League owner, actually. No, just kidding. Nublet, of course, the league owner. But Suli joins the party. The mid laner, the ADC, the fabled Freya, actually. I know virtually the captain of Challenger Squad might have something to say about that. Both great Freya players, but Suli does it at just the highest level. Yeah, so I think Sparky being the sweetheart he is with Suli and Lush Blood, I just think this is some really great pairings, and I look forward to see what this team can do.
Yeah, that's going to be some interesting team dynamics. That's the term I'm looking for. Going to be a
Definitely.
dynamic team. So we're on to
Definitely.
Hemo, the ever suspenseful Hemo. I don't know if we ride this one out. He still hasn't joined the voice chat for him to be able to put in things. So I think he may just be putting his picks a little bit later.
I guess
Um,
so. Yeah, how about we type some fours in the chat if we just skip over Hemo from here on out. Let's see some fours if you just want to skip it, or if you like the suspense, then
yeah,
move on.
yeah.
Okay, we're seeing some fours. Oh, too many fours. Oh my
Put
gosh.
put some F's in the chat if you feel bad for the boy.
And put some Z's in the chat if you don't feel bad for him, to be honest.
Oh yeah, he's sleeping, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. He is sleeping for sure. So moving on. Let's not even give him the benefit of the doubt.
Chat,
I'm
settle
sure
down, settle down. What have we
I mean,
started?
oh my gosh. All right. No more typing. Time everyone out, mods. Time them all out. But Hemo, just a really good player overall. I know he's kind of feared throughout the community and just a really solid player. So it's going to be interesting to see the team that he drafts after draft is over. So moving on, we have the Sandman Samuel, aka Pepsi Nitro. I am intrigued what he may have to say. I kind of want to get him in here, and I want him to tell us why Pepsi Nitro is the best. Nitro, you want to unmute yourself? Give us a little insight about your favorite cola here.
I mean,
Okay, and there you have it. Pepsi Nitro is not the best cola, but he does want to draft the best team, and I am intrigued to see what he's gonna pick here. And it looks like he has locked it in. This is a player that I've had my eyes on for a while now. I think I've only seen him in the support role. It kind of makes sense for a player like Nitro here, but he picks Disco Fairy, who had some like crazy showings out of the support role, like I was saying. He had played an Artio game, a Yemoja game, but the thing that was shocking to me was just how good the Yemoja game was. He went 2-0-13 that game, and in my opinion, kind of support main. I don't really know what I mean, to be honest. Yemoja, like, if you can play Yemoja and carry a game with her, kind of like he did, that is a true sign of what a good support is. Like, she is
That
a
says a
hard god
lot.
to play. Yeah, it just says a lot. She's just capable of so much and such good area control, but in the hands of the wrong person, like, she does nothing, right? Like, maybe the worst support if you don't know how to play it. So I think this is a really good pick coming from the Sandman. And
Yeah.
up next, we have the Uller one trick.
And that'll
Uller,
bring us back around to
I
1.
know.
We're on our
Our first pick.
16th pick.
Yeah, our first overall pick. Yeah, this is flying by. This is going well. I hope you're having a good time in chat. Thank you all for tuning in. And I guess just some details while he's thinking over his pick. We plan on starting. Once draft is over, which, just a reminder, Challenger draft is at the same time, 7 Eastern tomorrow. Which should be a good time, and really interested to see how that goes. But shortly after this weekend, we will be starting off in the Voyage season, right? Of SDL. It's going to be just a good time, and a reminder that $1,000 is officially on the line between the two divisions. I mean, it's just going to be a huge season. We're just growing explosively and exponentially, and it's just going to be just good to see. It's good to see everyone here. I really hope you like it, and of course, if you have problems, open tickets. Let us know how you're feeling, if you're having fun, if you're not, and let us know how we can improve your experience. We really value it all, and we're just so happy to have you all here and be part of this voyage, this maiden voyage for the Smite Draft League. And up next,
There it
little
is.
one trick. He's picking Swagga. Now, this is a funny pick because Uller One Trick really has none of this. Like, he is like the least flag player I've ever seen. So I
Shots
think,
fired.
okay, so maybe, yes. But another funny thing about this is I believe Swagga is a jungle main, which Uller is. So Uller's really taking a back seat here officially, I believe. I'm not exactly sure where he's going to go in all of this, but Swagga just had a crazy like Dodgy game and a crazy Vomit game. So deep God pool, you really love to see it.
He's just going to draft all the best junglers so that the other teams don't have them. You know, that's just his plan. It's to just get all the junglers.
So I think that would be a viable strat if only, hear me out, if only 6 of the 8 captains weren't also junglers. Interested to see his strategy there. I think
taking that to the next level.
Exactly. Yeah. Just really like, I guess if one of the other jungler captains get injured, he really wants to, monetize the jungle pool. I guess that makes sense. No one ever said Uller was a smart man, but he can play the game a little bit, and he certainly can't ever beat me at multiverses. I just want that to go on the record. So one moment, I'm getting some questions from the captains. They're asking if Rawan is draft eligible, and he is. Atto Anna, let me just verify with his stats. Is it possible to kick us off to a small little break while I just verify that he played his games?
blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it.
And we are back. Thanks for your patience there. We were just sorting out, making sure someone was, if they were draftable or not. But I see that we have a crazy, crazy hype train going on. Thank you so much for everyone that's donating to the stream, donating to the league, just getting this crazy hype train going. So without further ado, now that we sorted out that Ra1 is not draftable, he didn't play a full set in Scouting Grounds, we're going to see who Uller One Trick has to pick for his next one. Now, he might be cheating here. You know, he had a long break to really think over and mull over his next two picks. I don't know. It seems kind of rigged to me.
But maybe he didn't. He might not have thought for a second about it because he was so confident we were going to come back with a yes. But unfortunately, the answer was no.
That is true. And he is picking up a friend of mine, one of the homies. He's picking up just me, Dre. Maybe it's just Madre. No one really knows, do they? But
I think everyone knows.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I think everyone does know. But just a great overall player, right? He can play pretty much every role, and I've seen him do it all pretty well. I mean, I don't know. He has just crazy support showings, crazy mid lane showings. So really, wherever Uller One Trick wants to put Dre, he's going to be well off for. And another thing about Dre is he's just a seasoned player. He kind of sees the map a little bit differently. He just plays at that level, and he's just like, I know what needs to happen to win this game, and he's able to call it out. Just a vocal player, and I think Uller's a vocal player too, and so it just seems like that'll be a team of just good shot calling. And well done to Uller One Trick. Good pick there, and I think he gets 2 back-to-back picks, or did I miss the?
No,
first,
that was his back.
That was the second one.
Or
that's
the
right.
2
That's
back.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, silly me. So moving on to the next pick with the Wrath of Terra, Pepsi Nitro. What's your next pick gonna be, sir? And he is gonna pick a really solid player. This is a good one to see. And just he's been just a good member of the community. I know he's struggled in some other leagues before, but yeah, we want him to play, and I think it's fair that he does finally. Value is joining the party. I've seen Value play mainly the jungle role, but I know he's kind of capable of doing it all. Just such a seasoned player. It would be silly kind of not to pick him. I just had good showings. Always has good showings. He's just a really solid player. I've seen him play in a couple leagues now, and it's good to see him play some comp again. So welcome to the team, Value.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I'm a broken record, but a player as good as Value at this point in the list, it just shows how good all of these players are. We're 20 deep and we're still hitting bangers. Like this is a really an impressive roster that these teams are getting to eke out.
Seriously, yeah. Value was part of one of the only 3-game sets of all of Scouting Grounds, so maybe one of the more balanced sets. But the thing is that it seems like when he gets on the Ratatasker, it's just an auto win. Like the rest of the team can not touch their keyboards and mice and controllers or anything like that. They can just let Value do what he needs to do. It's just I don't know. It's just crazy to watch a player of that caliber, operate a god so well. And it also kind of goes to show you that these captains better have done their research, because there are some crazy players that are still yet to be drafted. Hemo, sorry, brother.
That's enough about that. Let's get hype about Hemo.
Yeah, Hemo.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Oh, let's go.
So moving back on to Sparky. Show us what you got.
Yeah, we're coming
And
around to Sparky. I'm gonna take this second to just go ahead and update my notes. I'm trying to keep track of everybody who's been picked, hasn't been picked, keep it up in the captain's chat so they know they've got it easy to read. And then while we're at it, I just want to shout out to chat one more time. You guys are awesome. I love seeing this hype. This is absolutely amazing. I could not have expected that.
Level
Look how
7
many
hype train.
viewers we got at this
That's
point.
like so many trains. That's like tons. That's a whole. It's like when you go to Hideaway Pizza, you know, and there's the train swimming around. Like that's how many we got. It's it's
That might be a
crazy.
local reference.
I mean, maybe Midwest people know. Only '90s kids would get it. So, anyways,
But Sparky, my man,
Sparky,
you're
not
up.
but Sparky, but just Sparky.
Not but Sparky, but lover.
But lover. Hang on. So, anyways, Sparky is actually joining us from Japan right now. Kind of jealous of him. I'm not gonna lie. He's traveling,
Oh,
having
yeah?
a good time, and still, despite a 12-hour time difference or something like that, he's still tuned in. He's dedicated to being a captain. So excited to see what he's got when he comes back from Japan. So
Yeah.
Sparky, tell us what your next pick will be. On to the third one.
I bet
And
it'll
he's
be
gonna
crazy
pick
stories.
I Just Want FPS. Really, really solid pick. I think this is another person that he has just passed team synergy with. Just a good player. I know we watched him in the Joust tournament. I think he played an Achilles game, and he kind of went crazy with this crazy like mystical mail renewal, like just crazy weird build that I've never seen before, and he went crazy with it. Yeah, so just a really good player. It looks like he really did his research, and I think FPS is just a jungle main. I could be wrong though. I know he played jungle in some scouting ground sets here. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, yeah, like we said, he plays that Achilles well, so he plays solo also really well. It looks like on his sheet he says he can play jungle, mid, solo, so it kind of seems like there's nothing he can't do. With Ratatasker being one of his favorite gods, which is really strong in jungle and solo right now. Really good pick, Sparky. Well done so far. Moving on. It's
Moving
back
on.
over to Iba with the Eclipse squad, the Tsukiyomi boys. And thank you
99
guys for all of
subs right
the-
now.
Yeah, 99.
Oh, guys,
Who's
can
gonna
we
break
push it over
100?
to 100? Like, I want to be the guy that gets to see that happen.
Seriously, I also want to be that guy, and
We can't both
just
be the
gonna say-
guy.
I
Oh,
mean,
no,
we can both be the
can.
guy,
We can-
but
we
I
can
do know that Nathan gives a free kiss to whoever's sub 100. So thank you, Nathan, and thank you for sub 100. You're a lucky person.
Also to everyone who doesn't. So, keep that in
Oh,
mind.
Nathan handing out his COVID smooches right now. So Nathan,
just
thank you
saying.
again for joining me. I don't know if I could do this alone, but Nathan is a sick
Woo.
boy.
Look
So,
at Energy. Look at Energy. Gift and tier 1 subs all over the place.
Amazing. So it looks like we're gonna break our threshold. Nate,
Yeah.
go give everyone COVID. But again, like as I was saying, thank you so much for joining me despite being sick. Let's get some hearts in the chat for Nathan being sick and doing such a good job casting with me here.
I feel like this is helping me recover. This is part of my process.
Yeah. This is one of the it's like rest, ice, compression, and casting Smite.
Little Smite casting, absolutely. Oh, the Iba pick. The Iba pick is in.
This is
and
actually exciting.
It kind of is, because I feel like there's some history, there's some I don't know, synergy there. It's power.
Power.
Did
You did. I think. I don't know.
the accent,
I always
the emphasis?
enunciated in certain ways, but Power, actually the first of this draft that is not a Masters or GM player, I don't think he's ever even hit it, but no doubt that he plays at those levels. He's just a good player. Yeah, I know he's a jungle main, and he was scared that he wasn't gonna get drafted. But dude is just a vibe too, and I know, similar to many jungle mains, you can throw them anywhere and they'll do all right. So really fun pick coming from Iba. Yeah, I think Iba also has a thing for picking jungle mains, I guess. So I guess Uller and him have the same strategy here. Yeah, good pick. And moving back on, let's get over to Midman. Your timer starts now. Who are you gonna pick?
Minman been coming at this with, I think, a strategy thus far. He seems to know what he's trying to achieve, crafting a specific team. I feel like that's one of the things that we're seeing out of him is a cerebral level to his draft.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think a couple of the captains I know, they made their own spreadsheets. They really thought it through. They thought through who their first pick would be and their backup would be, and if they didn't get that person, who their backup of their backup would be. So let's see who Minman is gonna pick. I know there's some good supports. I was just saying, funny enough, some good supports on the table, and he's gonna lock in Lone Wolf, a familiar face, also a sweetheart, I believe, but
And
just
one of the
ahead.
best supports. I mean, just one of the best supports to have when you're a carry. It's Lone Wolf.
I agree. And also, Lone Wolf's just a humble player. I know that she was scared that she wasn't going to get drafted. She was in chat like before the draft even, and she's like, well, no one likes the way I play or wants to pick me up. That's a load of crap, Lone Wolf. You're just a good player and just one of the scarier supports to go against. Like, her peel is always on point, but also just she has this, what would you call it? Just this quality that she takes up, like, she just zones well. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, I'm gonna call it the X factor of
Yeah,
some supports have it, some don't, and she certainly does.
expert positioning. I think that's what I would classify it as. I remember the first time I watched her play, I was like, there's just something different going on here, and it took me a little while to figure it out. But totally agree. Totally agree. So moving on, Zombie Crusher. Also putting together a crazy team. So now the question is, who's he going to put in this slot?
That is a good question, and it looks like he's locking it in. And it looks like he's gonna pick a jungle and solo main. Really, I want to go back to this player. This player's what do we call that? The survey. They said, as far as gods that they like to play, they said, oh my gosh, I really love gods like Afro, Arachne, Ganesha. I don't know. I'm just loving them so much. So I love the enthusiasm coming
The
out from this
energy
player.
in that response.
I know.
Slayer. I feel like you got to say it that
Slayer.
way, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We just love you, Slayer. Just really enjoying you
Slayer.
a lot. And so you don't really know how they did in scouting grounds. Let me give it a look here.
But keep that
Yeah,
energy. Whatever. Keep that
whatever you
energy.
do. Yeah, don't let a captain like Zombie Slayer or Zombie Crusher, don't let him bring you down. Oh, so looking at the stats, actually, maybe I should have known this, but Slayer, Nijal game, jungle 7-1-11, followed by an Awilix game, 8-0-6. So it seems to
Nice.
like these types of gods that can kind of get easy picks and
Pop
things like
off
that.
and get a
Yeah,
roll. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And Nijal is just a strong pick too. Not always in meta, but I think with mana core spikes being as good as they are and Glad Shield being as good as it is, you can go this tankier build on Nijal in the jungle and really get away with it. And so just, I don't know, I think it's a good sign when people keep up with the meta and are able to just adapt to it. And so moving on to the next two picks, we're going to have Butt Lover,
He gets
our
2
boy,
picks at this point. Tomcat, the first pick.
Tomcat.
What
And
can
I
you tell
think
me about Tomcat?
I can tell you that Tomcat is one of the better ADCs, like I said earlier. Yeah, Tomcat had an unfortunate game against Control Alt I Eat, but I think, when you play ADC at the highest level, we see it all the time. Like, sometimes Panda Cat smacks up Zapman, sometimes Zapman, comes online late game and he's 0-10 and he still wins the game for his team. So I think this is kind of what we saw here, is that Control Alt I Eat had a really good game, but Tomcat is just still a force to be reckoned with. I suspect we're going to see him in the carry role there, and yeah, I think that's a really, really solid pick.
I think so too. Absolutely.
All right, so let's move on here. And the next pick is Miggy. I think there's 2 eyes at the end of that Miggy. But funny enough, I was watching Butt Lover stream a game earlier, and Miggy was in his same GM game with Haddix and Yarkor or someone like that. So no,
Those little guys.
those little guys. So no stranger to. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were getting absolutely farmed. Like, I didn't see Butt Lover hit a single Pele ult all game. Like, literally missed them all. But I hear he's a good player. But Miggy also is just a really, really solid player. This draft for Butt Lover is looking, I mean, just solid overall. Yeah, and Miggy just had, I think he played solo. Yeah, he played solo in the scouting grounds. He played a Guan Yu game where he just kind of popped off. He went 6-1-10, played Kukulin, so really knows how to play the meta stuff. And I mean, that's just a good sign, right? Like you play the meta stuff when it's good, and you don't have to when it's not. And I think another interesting thing, I know that Miggy marked that Diamond was his highest rank achieved, and apparently that's not true anymore. So Miggy, I'm gonna have to check you on that. You're clearly playing the Masters GM levels, so no more lying, sir. But yeah, looks to be another jungle main, but I mean, Bell knows what he's doing. He's probably gonna scoot Miggy over to the solo lane or
He's
something like
doing
that.
something, and that is for sure.
I 100% agree. And the next person up is Zombie Crusher. It appears. Sorry, I got my stream all backwards, and he is picking Univari.
I'm gonna call him Uni because I talked to him briefly, and he's a very nice guy. And he said, "Call me Uni," just to avoid that having a pronunciation issue there. But he's very cool.
He is, and he's also a very good player. This was a player that I was like, I kind of did this mock draft in my head on who I'd want to pick. Uni is a GM support main, and I know that he just kind of popped off in his games. I think he had a Kabrakan game. Like, let me look up the stats here. He had a Kabrakan game. He went 5-2 and 15 with Kabrakan support. Just did crazy damage, and then. Keep in mind, this is support main, but in Scouting Grounds, he also got thrown into the ADC role, and he had this crazy Chiron game where he went 9-2 and 17. This is a support player, guys, and he's playing Chiron at that level against, such good players. Actually, it was Dre that he laned against, and Dre, I hate to say it, he kind of showed you what's up, bro. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just a really good pick if you have a support main that can express mechanics at that level, even from the ADC role.
Yeah, absolutely. I got nothing but good things to say about Uni and that pick just in general. And so now we're moving on to Midman's next pick, and it's looking good. It's F6 Legend.
The F6 Legend, and this is a guy that I've played with on and off for maybe a year now, aka Krazen. Yeah, just a really solid pick. Yeah, I think Krazen's just well known in the community, just a well-known player in general. I think swapping over to PC, I think he goes back and forth, but just a cracked controller player overall. And another one of those players that I think he mains jungle or mid or something like that. He had success in on my team in the past as a solo laner, and he's actually an ADC main. So he just has great mechanics, especially for a controller player. And he's keyboard mouse now, and he just keeps getting player. He just keeps getting better, right? Like that swap from controller to PC can be hard at first, but dude is just good now. He just has that GM mentality. I think he's almost always capped or close to cap, and I think that's a really solid pick coming from Midman.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you that the captain's chat is getting a little heated as these last picks are coming up, because some captains want picks that just got taken, and so it is what it is. That's the order of the draft. But yeah, it's exciting to see them and then having to re-strategize what players they're going to go for after the fact.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a fight break out. I know Uller One Trick has played with Krazen before. I know I've played in a comp tournament before with both of them. And yeah, I think they just have good synergy, and they're always good vibes, always hilarious call-outs. And I think that having those two on a team would be fun. But that's the thing, is that Midman and Krazen have crazy synergy already. Like, they won a whole season, together. They didn't have teammates. It was just the two of them. And yeah, they're going to be just a great pairing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just want to point out, we're also kind of coming in, like we're well past the halfway point. We're about 3/4 of the way through ballpark. So, I mean, we're coming through this. We're getting there, is what I guess I'm saying. Is we're almost done ish with this draft. Just waiting to see what Uller has to say. 30 seconds on the clock, buddy. The time is actually a factor now.
Who is it going to be? Oh, we're not waiting on Uller, though, are we?
It's not Uller. My bad.
This is... Who are we on? We are on Iba. Iba, yeah. Who's it going to be?
My bad, Uller. My bad, Uller.
We saw
you type in. I thought it was
Uller was getting so heated. I mean, it makes sense, but he can't be first pick and now pick. That's not fair.
Yeah, no, you're right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and there it is.
Yeah, he's locking it in. Yeah, and I think played on the same team as Uni in Scouting Grounds. I know he's a solo laner. I don't know what else he does. I can look into that. But just a good player. Uni, aka Jivyun, another support main. Wait, hang on
No,
now.
no.
No,
The
no,
pick
no.
was
We're on
Physic.
Physic, huh? Aren't we? Yeah. I had the wrong thing highlighted. A solo main. Yeah, that's right. He played Camazotz and Scouting Grounds. Had a really good set there. Yeah, I just had the wrong thing highlighted there. Kama, he had a
We're all good. We're
4-2-9
all good.
Kama game,
This is
and
live.
that's right. This is showbiz. The show must go on. Sun Wukong also had a game on that. Went 2-3. It kind of shows that from the Camazotz, he knows how to play these aggressive picks that can really get on a backline, and also play the safer picks, and kind of take a backseat role on the Sun Wukong, and still perform really well, and just be what appears to be a really consistent player. So Fizek, welcome to the league.
I think a really solid pick. So, moving on to Sparky. Always excited to see what Sparky has to say.
I know it. Yeah, sweet boy, that one. And yeah, like I said, he's in Japan, so he's working with even more delay and ping. I think he only has 130 seconds to pick, and but he doesn't even need all that time. He locks in a friend. Also a 2K
familiar name.
dev, a familiar name. Born to Meme, I suspect is who he's selecting as his support. Born to Meme is just a really good support. Had a bit of a rough showing on a Emoji game, I think, but I don't know if that's any fault of his. Sometimes there's only so much he can do as a support. But Born to Meme was another player. He was humble and saying, "Hey, I'm okay with being a free agent." No, you're not, Born to Meme. Welcome to the roster. You're gonna do great out there. And yeah, I just think that Born to Meme's a sweet fella. I think Sparky's a sweet fella, and yeah, they'll make a great pairing. And then Hemo back in the spotlight, Sons of the Desert. Everyone boo him. No one likes him.
Boo.
Boo! Get out of here.
Yeah, what are we at? Missed pick. This guy. I don't even think he knows how to draft.
I don't think so. I think he was scared of these other captains, to be honest. Like, Hemo's good, but like players like Sparky and Pep, like literally Pepsi Nitro is gonna outperform you. Like, just the can of soda is gonna play better than you. That's crazy.
100% true right now. So which on that note, I think Pepsi Nitro is the next pick. So we can start looking ahead to that. My man is thinking. Looking ahead to that. All right. Pepsi Nitro is locking in his pick right now.
Awkward silence there. My apologies.
I was gonna say, did we lose you?
And he is picking up Lycan, another kind of familiar face. I think he's played a few in-houses. I think he's popular in the in-house crowd. A mid laner who I think is one of the few players that in Scouting Grounds played a hunter in the mid lane. He played AMC, which just an aggressive pick, and I just think it's a good pick overall. Yeah, so he's a mid lane main. He's a Masters player. We'll see where he puts him. I don't know too much about Lycan, but I know that he's had some really good showings and performed well and consistent in the Scouting Ground sets.
Yeah, really solid player, holding down that lane. So that's pretty good, I guess. And back to Uller One Trick. I'll tell you what, I'm shocked every time it loops around.
I know, right? It's like already time for that. And these are going to be Uller's last two picks. He's going to pick up his fifth player and then his sub. And just a reminder, in the Smite Draft League, we like to have 6-man teams here. It encourages trading among teams, and it also encourages and promotes games being played on time, right? If you have that sub that's going to be there no matter what, it really helps just with scheduling and things like that, which also we are moving to a Friday through Sunday schedule. We're going to try to stream as many games live as we possibly can. And if games aren't played on Friday through Sunday, then you're very unlikely that your game will be streamed. So just reminder to play your games on time, please. And let's get after this and have just a great season 1 of the Smite Draft League.
I absolutely second to that. I think it's well said.
Well, thank you. And he is picking up a familiar face, Masters player. Recently has swapped from console to PC, and it's kind of a spooky sight. He is picking up the one and only, the Swiftfish. Welcome to the league, Swift. He's a good friend of mine, and we get along. He's always got good ideas and just interesting play style. One of the few people I've even seen pick Raijin in the last year, and he fragged on it.
He did good with it.
Yeah, he went 8-2 or something like that. And then also just a good flex pick. I've seen him. He's kept up with me in the jungle. He's really good in the solo lane. Has a deadly King Arthur, and just one of the best Merlin players I've ever seen. So Swiftfish, welcome to the league. Good to see you, buddy. And
great player and a great person.
Yeah, absolutely. Cannot agree more with that. So moving on to a little one trick once again. What's it going to be?
This is his second pick. And his last pick. This is the full team that we are getting out of the Kingslayers.
That it is. And he is going to pick up the Thigh Pillow, which I think is my favorite name, perhaps, of all of the players. It goes by Ducky in the Discord. I think he is actually Thigh Pillow in our Discord, but yeah, he's played some support in Scouting Grounds. Didn't do so hot, but I think that's no testament to how good this player actually is. I know that a lot of people had their eyes on him. I think his highest rank ever was Diamond, but he specifically requested another to play in Premier. I think he knows how good he is. He's a mid main, ADC main, does all of that. Yeah, and he just can kind of do it all. So interested to see where Uller wants him, but I think just based on the gods that he played in support, I think that Uller might have liked what he saw. I would have loved to hear from Uller. I know he's having some connectivity issues, and see how he felt about his overall pick. But Uller, sorry about your living out in the boonies. He's a country boy. He got goats. He got chickens. And he's also got a really stacked team here. So excited to see how the Kingslayers, excited to see how the Kingslayers pan out this season. So moving back on.
Pepsi Nitro. Here he comes again.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last pick. Yep.
And who's he going to be? Go ahead and pronounce that for me, Nathan, because I sure don't have any clue how
I'm going to go with Ptolemy. I'm going to say the P is silent, like pterodactyl. I'm going to say Ptolemy.
Right. Yeah, so another good player. I think this is another GM that was still on the table. Ptolemy, he played mid in Scouting Grounds, and he kind of went crazy. He played Thoth, which I only saw 2 Thoth players in Scouting Grounds. He had a 4-2 game there, and then he swapped over to Yu Huang, just like we said earlier. An easy pick, a safe pick. Went 9-2-8. Just a good player, man. I don't know. I know. I feel like I've said that, and like you said, I feel like I'm a broken record as far as saying that these are good players. But actually, correction, he's just a Masters player, so not even a good player. What am I saying? Bad pick here, Ptolemy. Sorry, bro. I wouldn't want you. Just kidding.
Now we're coming up to round out Hemo's full team. This will be the entire team of Sons of the Desert. I don't know, man. I feel like he's revealed his strategy at this point.
I would have to agree. If I were here, I'd maybe pick up a support just to really supplement these missed picks. Mistpick is a good player. Don't get me wrong. Very capable, can flex, but I haven't seen them play support really well. That being said, hard Sylvana spot. Let's talk about that. I have never not gotten bodied
by the hard Sylvana spot. Yeah,
they
man.
Go crazy.
He doesn't miss pulls, so there's that.
That's exactly true.
Well, moving on. I think we ran that joke as far as it can. Sparky.
That's where you're wrong.
Putting together Team Divinity, and he's rounding it out. I think that Sparky has had a real clear strategy. He knows what he's filling in. He knows what he wants. So let's see the last pick for his team.
What will it be? Sparky, it is time. He's typing.
Swervy.
Drum roll. And he's going to pick up. Is that what you said? Jay Swervy? Was he not already picked up? Am I crazy?
I don't see him. I've got the list.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
trust
crazy.
it.
Guys, you
Oh,
gotta
there,
stop listening to Young Cub.
literally worst L admin, L Cub. Yeah, let's
El
get some L
Cubbo.
Cubs in the chat. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Jay Swervy, I think ADC main. I think let me just verify these stats. Jay Swervy, dare I say he's a good player? He is. He's a jungle ADC main. He's a GM. Plays characters like Set, just in case you want to play, Set ADC very good, but also has a Huyi, Charybdis, and Rama. Just a decent player, I suppose. I don't want to keep saying they're good players, but I guess I kind of have to give it to him.
There's no bad
Because
players on this list.
exactly. There really aren't. He had a really good Cupid game, and then good. I'm not sure who he played, but just some good showings. He had a 5-1 and 11 Cupid game, like I said, against who was he laning against? Dazzled, who was also no joke of a player. So Jay Swervy gets picked up, and I suspect, for these first couple of weeks while Sparky is in Japan, he might need someone to help him out in the ADC role. So there you have it, Jay Swervy. Thanks for being here and thanks for joining.
What a team. So I think, Ibba, it's up to you. We're rounding out the team. We're getting that last pick. We want to see what you got to say. I am so bopping to this music too. I'm not even trying to. It's just like,
I know.
got it.
Why is it so good?
Yeah, again, shout outs to production. Nooblit, you got a special eye for this stuff, the detail. It's top notch. Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Chef's kiss. Mwah. Kiss, kiss. Big hug, little kiss.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ibba has locked in his pick. Let's see here. It looks like he's going to lock in the one and only Joe from New York.
What can
I think
you
that's
tell
who he's locked it
me
in.
about
Go
Joe
ahead.
from New York?
Joe from New York, I know, absolutely trolled in one of his games. He played ADC both games. His first game was actually a really good Jingwei game. And then I'll let you guess who he played next in the ADC role.
In the ADC role, was it Xing Chen?
It was Vulcan. And
Vulcan?
he didn't do so well. I hear that they just forgot to swap gods with Chubby Ostrich, who played Artemis mid. And that game didn't go so well. And that was also the game that Peer Pressure decided to go 11-1 on Mulan support. So I think that Joe from New York is a really solid player and just didn't get the god he wanted to play and just decided to troll his brains out after that. So no fault with that. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Well, you love it. You'll love to see it.
That you do.
We get a lot of characters, a lot of variety, a lot of personalities here.
We do. We do all walks of life, all of that. It's just one of the things that I I love, and I'm already getting messages about people.
Let me just hold that thought. Midman has already picked a Paragon, which that rounds out his team. Life of the After Party. What a team he's got here. Like these are some players.
Man, that's the thing. Is
I don't think
Paragon.
He's not even gonna be in these games.
Yeah, like Midman doesn't need to play. Like he just drafted such a good team that he can just put down the sticks, put down his
you played yourself.
Mouth. Yeah. He can just be the coach at this point. But a Paragon, I know he played mid in the sets. He played a support set and he also played a mid set. But he also played ADC in the same set. So he played 2 games of mid. He went 9-2 on Baba Yaga, went 1-5 on Vulcan. And then he wanted a little role swap there. Someone else came in. And so he's like, I'll play Chernobog ADC. And actually, no, that was a Chernobog mid. I'm crazy here. And he went 6-2 on the Chernobog mid. So just a good player. Clearly can play a variety of gods. And yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised Paragon went this late in the draft. But just another testament, like we were saying. This is a Masters player. Everyone, like pretty much everyone has been. But yeah, I mean, he makes it, and it's good to see him, and I'm surprised he lasted this long.
Yeah, it's cool to see. So we're getting down to just the last couple of picks. The penultimate pick from Zombie Crusher here. Snoozism.
Yes. Snoozism.
I
Yeah,
like
so
saying that.
Snoozin, I know that is a good name, isn't it? Yeah, so one of those players, he kind of had a hard time playing his scouting ground set on time, but he played enough single game sets that we were like, okay, yeah, let this guy in. GM player, solo main, he had a Shiva game in scouting grounds that he performed really well on. Let me check the stats on that. Yeah, 3, 4, and 4 Shiva solo against who was he against? He was laning against me, who went 3-8. So we know how good he is. He went very early on. Snoozin kept up with him, no problem, and then swapped over to the Wukong just to flex that he has a safer pick in the pocket, and went 2, 4, and 4 on the Wukong. So just a really good pick up there. And as I was mentioning earlier, as I mean, it's Belt Lover's pick now, but as I was mentioning, I'm already getting people in my DMs saying they want to take Hemo's spot as a captain. So we will see, and we might have to have a community tournament if Hemo decides to drop out to who's going to take his spot. So
Yeah,
thank you all for the willing volunteers.
let's get this last pick, but I think it's worth mentioning that there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots available to players who have yet been drafted. Like, so for all those free agents, hold tight. You know, there's still more drafting to do.
Absolutely. And also,
Say
there's
that
going to be
again.
yeah, a mid-season swap. What are we calling it? I don't know. Mid season's gonna hit, and you'll be able to pick up more players, drop players, do whatever you want. So I don't think that anyone is doomed to. No one's doomed to just have a horrible season or a horrible team if it doesn't start off so hot. So be patient. And so Butt Lover, it is his turn to pick, and he had to go. Actually, he had to leave, but he DM'd me his picks. And so, what do we think,
And
Nathan?
it's
Should we?
Yamaguchi.
Oh, sure enough. I guess he stuck around for that.
He did. We got it
Yeah.
in the chat.
So he nabbed up Yamaguchi there. I thought he was. He told me he was, but I guess he's just a dirty, filthy liar. A solo player. I know one set on the chalk had a chalk game, right? Like he went 2-2 and 5. That is what chalks do. Boring lane, boring game. Sorry about it. But one thing I know about Yamaguchi is he is just a flex player. He even signed up for every role, jungle, mid, solo, support, ADC, and he's just confident in that. He can kind of do it all. His favorite gods are Rat, Bellona, Amaterasu, and Kokolin. Yeah, I think this is another just a good overall pick and just a good flex pick. You know, we're picking 6 men here. Why not get someone that can kind of play all of the roles so you don't have to flex as hard?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's a lot of the strategy in building these teams is getting players that can play in a lot of places and just trying to build a good team per game around it. So there you are. That's the last pick. That is the premier draft thus far. As we said, we didn't have Hemo. Obviously, he didn't show up even by the end of this draft. He hasn't responded to messages, so we're going to have to figure out what to do with that. But there will be an 8th team. You can count on that. I feel confident in saying that one. And so it's just a matter of time of how to put that team together. So, yeah, Hemo best team in the chat. I see it there. Chat,
Right.
we really appreciate you hanging in there with us. All the people who stuck around for the whole stream, thank you for watching. This has been a very exciting draft for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, I mean, who do you think won this overall draft, to be honest? Is it too early to tell? Is it, we're kind of panning through these different teams here. Iba has a good squad, like the Spooks
Yeah.
and NMR. Midman
And
has a crazy looking, just a crazy looking squad. I don't know. This is going to be just a fun season, and we're really, really looking forward to getting into it. I don't know. I think we should just probably sign us off here. It's been a long time in the league. Yeah, I mean, thank you all for the hype train and all the gifted subs. And we look forward to the Challenger draft tomorrow. So, yeah, the Challenger draft tomorrow, 7 Eastern. Be sure to tune in for that. And thank you all for joining us so much. And so I'm just going to sign off here. We'll let the stream run for a little bit longer. But without further ado, I have been Young Cub.
I'm Nathan DePaulo. Thank you so much for joining us.
told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same.